Greetings and welcome back to another edition of this thing with a note card that I am still working on a name on. Um, but what this is about is I take various prompts, ideas, take a moment to breathe, and then try to write down 3 points. Originally, this idea generated with me wanting to write more, share how I'm feeling, especially as I try to be a better partner, be a better dad, be a better human, or even take a step back and just say, right, I am enough, I'm good enough, but I need some tools to navigate this existence, change thoughts, change behaviors. Live with the mystery that is this universe. I hope I don't come across like I know the answers, but I do think there's a tremendous amount of benefit in sharing the questions, exploring the questions, and inviting everyone to listen to their intuition as we navigate awe and curiosity with all the challenging aspects of this world in our community, the violence, the grief, the trauma, the abandonment, neglect, hunger, like you name it. How can we show up in this existence? And so that brought me to a prompt on fear and hope. It wasn't much of a question as much as what surfaces when I think about fear, what surfaces when I think about hope. And, one of my favorite teachers, Pema Chodron, talks about abandoning hope, number one. And if you say this, a lot of people, this really can upset a lot of people. And it's more about abandoning unhealthy hope, unrealistic hope, or not stopping to look at this world, this existence, our communities, ourselves as things are, as I am, as we are. Taking that time to listen and reflect, because when we put our eggs in this basket of hope, in an unhealthy way, it can really lead to tremendous amount of discouragement. It's hard putting energy and effort into something and not seeing the changes. And so with one, it's more about abandon unhealthy hope so that you can listen with an open mind and be with what's realistically happening. Number two, I jotted down, do what you can / love despite it all. Number three is overwhelm. These are actually I'm gonna go on the fly here. They mix up well, because when I'm overwhelmed, I served as a public defender for a lot of years. I served in the Army, and I do try to serve as a veteran for peace now. The mass injustice, living in the atrocities of war, or just even turning on the news today and seeing what's happening in our communities and across the world. How can I avoid going into that disassociate, numbness, be like, screw it. Nothing I do matters. And I've been there so many times in my life. I remember I had this one case in downtown St. Paul, and clearly the guy I was representing was having a major mental health issue. The government charged him, the state charged him with terroristic threats. He was clearly having a psychotic episode, and he didn't happen to be here lawfully. He didn't even know, he came over as a baby. And so for the longest time, he didn't even know he was here unlawfully. And so it was such a helpless feeling to try to navigate the legal system that really lacked, at times, a lot of time, compassion, love, understanding, mercy. And there was really, within the legal system, there wasn't much I could do. I mean, as a fellow human, I could show up and listen, try to get him mental health support, but going into that situation, knowing that he was likely going to end up with some type of criminal conviction that would impact his immigration. And I had to come to the understanding, and it's still a practice, that oftentimes all I can do is listen, show up with compassion and love, and maybe just identify one or two tasks, small tasks, achievable tasks that may be helpful, and surrender to the idea that I may not ever be able to change the system. I used to think, well, I can't change it overnight, and being with the reality that perhaps the system is regressing, or perhaps my role in the system is keeping an unjust system moving. And that can really, really feel overwhelming. You get that, I would get that tightness in my chest because, I wanted to help. I got into the practice of law to help, to serve, and it feels really shitty when that's not the result, and especially when it feels like I'm causing more harm. And so I think it's important to take on these bite-sized chunks, because even these small acts can and will have ripple effects, and we don't know the impact that they will have. And I wrote down love despite it all, because the world gives us so many reasons to be discouraged, but at the same time it does give us moments to feel encouraged. And how do you juggle that? And so for me, it's there's enough cynical assholes. I've tried that route. And so my community, my family, this globe needs more love. And in order to manage my energy, I can take on the bite size and also not do it alone. If we galvanize as a small community, then as a larger community, it's the only way that I know for me I can sustain, is making sure that I have that support, I have the right amount of energy management, and just taking the moment to reflect on when I'm feeling the fear and what happens when I'm feeling a despondent hopelessness, how I can reframe that to say, I'm not hopeless. I'm just looking at the situation realistically, and I'm still going to show up with love despite it all. And so this is the note card exercise. I love getting to share. Thanks for checking it out. I'll start having more folks on as I figure out tech aspects. Have an awesome day.